I am. It's the on-campus kingpin. Yes,
Eagle
I
Sessions,
am.
Gayle Saunders talking a big W over the Dallas Cowboys. Our Eagles win 33-27 in overtime fashion. That win probably still has you geeked at this moment. I am still charged. Almost 2 days later, folks. It's one of those wins that puts you in a good mood for a whole week. I've been making sure I have conversations with all my friends that are Dallas Cowboys fans, people who have Dallas Cowboy attire in the streets. I'm making sure I make eye contact with them. You know those folks. But a win is a win in the NFL, and this was a huge W for the Eagles' confidence. You're thinking about the bye week. You're thinking about what this team is going to look like coming out of the bye week, and they impressed. Honestly, that first drive offensively was kind of offensive. You thought, oh man, this is what we've been waiting for. But honestly, the Eagles did step up on the offensive side of the ball. First and foremost, big hats off to Sam Bradford, one of his best and most complete games of the season. 295 yards passing, 69% completion percentage, one huge touchdown to Jordan Matthews. And most of all, he looked confident as a signal caller, has some mobility, moving out of the pocket, stepping up in the pocket when he was getting pressure. So that was exciting to see Sam Bradford progress. It's been a while, and I said from the very, very beginning of the season, it may take a while for him to gel on this offense, and it's we're 4-4 right now. And it's taken some time, but honestly, it looks like the offense did come together. When coming into this game, Jason Peters was out. You're thinking, what is this offensive line going to look like? Greg Hardy's in town. The Eagles went with Lane Johnson at left tackle, who looks like he could be the future at the left tackle position. Surprisingly, he played phenomenal. You might have thought there would be some hiccups. He did play that position at Oklahoma before he got drafted by the Eagles, so it's not like it was foreign to him. But it takes some time to get your fundamentals back. But honestly, hats off to Dennis Kelly, who came in at right tackle, played a phenomenal game. When Hardy struggled against Lane Johnson, he also didn't do much on the right side against Dennis Kelly. So hats off to the offensive line coach for the Eagles, because he put together a great plan and got those guys playing pretty sound. A big part of our W was the running game. But big hats off to DeMarco Murray. He's been getting, the fan base, still hasn't really warmed up to DeMarco. Ryan Matthews has outshined him in the last couple of games. But DeMarco Murray, 18 carries, 83 yards on the day. But the biggest part of DeMarco Murray's game that was really effective was the way that he was utilized in the pass game. 6 catches, 78 yards. Big, huge flare route that he ran on one of the backup linebackers from the Cowboys, which was huge. I think that's one thing that separates his skill set from Ryan Matthews. Well, when you want to ground a pound, you're going to give it to Ryan Matthews, but Ryan Matthews has continued to drop balls, so that's a concern. But the way that Ryan Matthews has the forward lean, he breaks the arm tackles, is always falling forward. You gotta love that. Had a nice touchdown by the end zone. So that was promising to see the way the Eagles drew up the 1-2 punch. I still think Darren Sproles is the forgotten guy in this offense. I think the way they've been using him is a little bit predictable on third downs. I think you can bring him in earlier, jet sweeps, in motion, just get him moving around, because the one guy that they told us about, and I saw in training camp is Darren Sproles, one-on-one coverage with linebackers. No one can cover him. Honestly, a big round of applause for Jordan Matthews, a guy who redeemed himself last night against the Cowboys. The fan base has been tough on Jordan Matthews. I have been tough on Jordan Matthews. He was the SEC record holder for receptions and receiving yards. So really dropping the ball was not Jordan Matthews' MO. So just looking at that, it's been a tough couple weeks for Jordan Matthews and the rest of our receivers. I mean, who has not dropped balls, but obviously he came up huge, and him and Sam Bradford had a connection, and he said go win the game, and Jordan Matthews did. I mean, a 41-yard touchdown to close out in overtime. You couldn't get a better way to close out, and this game will be remembered for years to come. Defensively, getting turnovers is huge. I think that the biggest thing with our Eagles, we've been turning the ball over. Sam Bradford, 0 turnovers. 2 thumbs up to that. But getting back to defense, Jordan Hicks has played lights out. Unfortunately, he's out for the season. That pec injury was worse than they expected. Thought it was a 2 to 4 week injury, but now it's out for the season. But what a way to go out. If that's your play to be remembered by for the season, shall we name him Pick Hicks? He will be referred to as Pick Hicks moving forward. So Jordan Hicks, hats off to you, young man. You've been putting in work. D'Amico Ryans will be back soon. Honestly, I got to be excited about Kiko Alonso being back. Showed some rust. But Michael Kendricks getting to the quarterback, showing what kind of playmaker he is. Our front seven, it's a tough Dallas Cowboy line. So I think, they held their own. They bended, but they didn't fully break. And they came up big when they needed to. I thought at the end of the game, the ticky-tack PI calls on Byron Maxwell was ridiculous. Who was paying the refs? Ed Hercules has to step up and, overturn those calls. I mean, the first one was borderline, but the second one was atrocious. This is not Michael Jordan with the Jordan rules. There's no Des Bryant rules in the NFL. As a defensive back, you have the right to catch the ball. And if the receiver's not even looking, I mean, come on, really? But honestly, I think it's karma. You just can't get away with stuff. You just can't sign Greg Hardy in the offseason, think it's not going to come back and haunt you. But honestly, I think it was this was a big win. I think it's something the Eagles look back on this win and realize this win, this dramatic win, brought the team together as a unit. I really think that this game was a confidence booster. It's the kind of game that the Eagles can build off and build momentum off, trying to get a nice couple games in a row. Trying to make the playoffs. I mean, we're in second place right now. The Giants are 5-4. We're 4-4. And then the Redskins are 3-5, and the Cowboys are now 2-6. Cowboys aren't out, but I believe mentally and spiritually, their soul has been taken. So it's going to be hard for them. They're going to have to go 7-1, basically, to make the playoffs the next 8 games. So that's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough for us as well. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but I think we can do it. I mean, I think that this team has some kind of confidence building right now. I think this win was huge. But Eagle fans out there, how did you feel about the win? It's been a minute. Love to get your opinion. But I am Gayle Saunders, Eagle Sessions, living the dream, not as a dream team, but living the dream.